According to macro trends, as of 2025, Greenland's population is approximately 56,916. Most of its residents are Greenlandic Inuit and comprise about 85 to 90% of the total population. This means that between approximately 48,379 and 51,024 individuals identify as Inuit. Here are some fascinating historical facts about the lifestyle and culture of the Inuit people of Greenland. Greenland is the world's largest island, with over 80% of its landmass covered by an ice sheet. Back in the day, the Inuit of Greenland were semi-nomadic, moving between seasonal hunting and fishing grounds. They used small, single-passenger kayaks for hunting and larger umiaks, or open boats for transporting families and goods. They used dog sleds, or kamutik, as a primary means of transportation across ice and snow, and they relied on whales, seals, walrus, and fish for food, clothing, and tools. The traditional Inuit used seal blubber for lighting and heating homes, and burned it in stone lamps called kulik. Inuit clothing was made from caribou, seal, and polar bear skins that were tailored to provide warmth in extreme cold. In the winter, some Inuit lived in igloos, while others used sod-covered houses built with whale bones or driftwood. During warmer months, they lived in portable tents made of animal skins. Inuit society was based on extended families, with communal child-rearing and cooperative hunting. Spiritual leaders, or ongakuk, served as healers and communicators with spirits. Children were often named after deceased relatives to carry on their spirits, and they believed in spirits inhabiting animals, the land, and celestial bodies. The Inuit had strict cultural taboos about hunting to show respect to animals and ensure future abundance. Women engaged in katajak, a unique vocal game and form of entertainment, while traditional dances were accompanied by drum songs used in storytelling and celebrations. The Inuit crafted intricate carvings from bone, ivory, and soapstone, depicting daily life and mythology. Due to the harsh Arctic climate, the Inuit ate raw meat, matak from whaleskin, and blubber for its nutrients. Traditional foods like kiviak, fermented seabirds, were prepared for survival during winter. Danish colonization in the 18th century introduced Christianity, trade, and European goods. Today, many Inuit in Greenland live in modern towns. Despite modernization, many Inuit still rely on hunting and fishing for food and income, harvesting seals, whales, fish, and reindeer. Greenland has significant deposits of minerals like zinc, lead, gold, uranium, and rare earth elements. Offshore oil and gas reserves are also present but remain largely untapped. These natural resources make them vulnerable to attack by greedy international heads of state. It does not have its own military. The fishing industry, particularly shrimp and halibut, is Greenland's economic backbone that accounts for about 90% of its exports. Adventure tourism, including glacier hikes and Arctic wildlife exploration, is expanding but remains limited by Greenland's remote location and harsh climate. Greenland is an autonomous territory within the Kingdom of Denmark that gained self-rule in 1979 and further autonomy in 2009, which allowed control over most internal affairs except defense and foreign policy. Refer to my video on Greenland for more information or conduct your own research so that you remained informed of the current political waves regarding the lives of the Inuit people in Greenland.
This video highlights 15 intriguing historical facts about Greenland and its people. 1. Around 985 CE, Norse explorers led by Eric the Red established settlements on Greenland's southern coast. They thrived for centuries but eventually disappeared. possibly due to climate changes, conflicts, or over-reliance on trade with Europe. 2. The Thule people, ancestors of modern Inuit, migrated to Greenland around 1200 CE. They brought advanced hunting tools and techniques, including the use of kayaks and umiaks, large skin boats. 3. The Kalaallit are the indigenous Greenlandic Inuit people. They have a rich oral tradition of storytelling, mythology, and shamanism, which has been passed down for generations. 4. Greenland became a Danish colony in 1721 after missionary Hans Egede arrived to convert the Inuit population to Christianity and establish trade. 5. Greenland is the largest island in the world that is not a continent. It covers over 2.16 million square kilometers, most of which is covered by an ice sheet. 6. In 917, Greenland gained home rule from Denmark, and in 2009 it achieved self-government. This allowed it greater control over domestic affairs, though Denmark still oversees defense and foreign policy. 7. Eric the Red is said to have named the island Greenland to attract settlers despite its icy landscape. This name was likely a marketing ploy to make it sound more appealing. 8. Ruins of Norse settlements, including Valsey Church. It is the best preserved Norse structure in Greenland that still stands today and offers insights into the Viking way of life. 9. During the Cold War, Greenland's strategic location between North America and Europe led to the establishment of the U.S. Thule Air Base, which remains operational today. 10. The indigenous name for Greenland is Kalaallit Nunaat, meaning land of the people in the Greenlandic language. 11. Historically, Greenlandic Inuit relied on hunting seals, whales, and polar bears for survival. They developed sophisticated tools like harpoons and sleds to adapt to the harsh Arctic environment. 12. Greenland was a base for many Arctic explorers. Notably, Knud Rasmussen, born in Greenland, became one of the most celebrated Arctic explorers in history. 13. Greenland's massive ice sheet contains records of Earth's climate history dating back hundreds of thousands of years, which is crucial for understanding climate change. 14. Inuit mythology is not based on Christianity, but reflects their deep connection to the Arctic environment. 15. As climate change rapidly melts Greenland's ice, new opportunities and challenges emerge, including the prospect of mining rare earth minerals and geopolitical attention from major powers like the US, China, and the EU. These facts highlight Greenland's unique blend of history, culture, and environmental significance.
The Arctic Circle is a vast and frigid expanse that stretches across 8 countries: Canada, the United States and Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Despite its harsh climate, human civilizations have thrived here for thousands of years, from the ancient traditions of the Inuit to the rich histories of the Sami and Evenki. The Arctic remains home to resilient cultures shaped by ice, snow, and survival. The earliest known Arctic inhabitants migrated north thousands of years ago. Archaeological evidence suggests that Paleo-Eskimos, ancestors of the modern Inuit, crossed the Bering Strait from Siberia into North America as early as 4000 BCE. Meanwhile, in the European Arctic, the Sami people, descendants of ancient hunter-gatherers, spread across the northern reaches of Scandinavia. One of the most well-known Arctic cultures is the Inuit, whose ancestors, the Thule, emerged around 1000 CE. The Thule were expert hunters of marine mammals, including seals, whales, and walrus. They developed the kayak and umiak for navigating icy waters and built igloos for shelter. Over centuries, Inuit societies adapted to the extreme Arctic environment, forming close-knit communities and passing down oral traditions, mythology, and survival techniques. Further west, the Sami people have lived in the Arctic for thousands of years, sustaining themselves through fishing, fur trapping, and reindeer herding. Unlike the nomadic Inuit, many Sami developed semi-permanent settlements. They spoke languages belonging to the Uralic family and maintained spiritual practices deeply connected to the land and animals. Despite facing colonization pressures from Scandinavia, Sami culture persists today, with ongoing efforts to preserve language and traditions. The Sami people are the Nordic country's only official indigenous people, inhabiting the north of Scandinavia, Sapmi. In Siberia, the Nenets, Evenki, and Chukchi have maintained a deep relationship with the Arctic landscape. The Nenets, known for their vast reindeer herds, migrate across the tundra in one of the last large-scale nomadic traditions in the modern world. Similarly, the Evenki people, skilled in hunting and herding, adapted to life in the boreal forests and tundra. Russian expansion in the 17th century brought changes to their way of life, but their cultural identity remains strong. The arrival of European explorers in the 18th and 19th centuries marked a turning point for Arctic indigenous cultures. The search for the Northwest Passage and Arctic resources led to encounters with Inuit, Sami, and Siberian indigenous groups. While some exchanges were peaceful and led to trade, others resulted in the spread of disease, loss of traditional lands, and forced assimilation into colonial societies. In the 19th and 20th centuries, many Arctic indigenous communities faced policies of forced assimilation. Boarding schools in Canada, Alaska, and Russia sought to eradicate indigenous languages and customs. Reindeer herding among the Sami was regulated by Scandinavian governments, and Inuit children were often taken from their families to be placed in state-run institutions. Despite these challenges, indigenous Arctic peoples fought to maintain their traditions, languages, and sovereignty. The history of Arctic cultures is one of endurance, adaptation, and resilience. Despite centuries of colonization, environmental shifts, and modernization, the Inuit, Sami, Nenets, and other indigenous Arctic peoples remain stewards of one of the world's most extreme environments. Their stories continue to unfold, shaping the future of the Arctic for generations to come. Today, Arctic indigenous communities are reclaiming their identities and advocating for their rights. Organizations like the Inuit Circumpolar Council and the Sami Parliament work to protect indigenous land rights, environmental concerns, and cultural preservation. Climate change presents a new threat to the Arctic, as melting ice disrupts traditional hunting patterns and threatens coastal communities. Yet, Arctic people continue to adapt, using technology and activism to preserve their way of life. The history of Arctic cultures is one of endurance, adaptation, and resilience. Despite centuries of colonization, environmental shifts, and modernization, the Inuit, Sami, Nenets, and other indigenous Arctic peoples remain stewards of one of the world's most extreme environments. Their stories continue to unfold, shaping the future of the Arctic for generations to come.